Welcome to UFO Buster Radio, episode number 269 of the UFO Buster Radio News Report. There really hasn't been anything in the news to talk about. So today is Wednesday, September 25th. Nothing to report the 23rd, the 24th. Really, the only thing that there was of any interest was that second interstellar rock, now known as Borisov 2I or I2. I don't know. It's one of those. All I know is that the I stands for interstellar. They finally decided to say yes, it is an interstellar rock. The second one, this one looks more like a comet, unlike a Oumuamua, who just looked like some kind of Ferengi ship that got lost and was tumbling through space. I don't know. I mean, shit like that just freaks people totally out, even in the science community. It just fucks with their heads. That's the way it is. Anyway, this is the podcast, right? The podcast that is known as a short form, because if you're lucky, you'll get a minimum of like 16 minutes. But if you're really lucky, it might go to 17. I'm just kidding. Sometimes it goes for longer. Sometimes it'll be like this past weekend when I decided to do like 4 news stories and play a song in between for each one. Which really, it was a lot of fun just sitting there kind of like talking to myself for almost, how long was it? Almost an hour? I don't know. I can't remember. It's all a blur. But today I got an old faithful in the news report for you guys. I haven't talked about this guy for a while because, space news and UFO news has been jumping thanks to Rachel Nevada and all the rubber dickers that went out there. And, we have Elon Musk making waves. What's weird? For some reason, the folks that are planning, Asgardia, they've kind of disappeared. Anybody heard any news on Asgardia? I think like every 3 months they come to mind. Igor at your belly and those guys. What about their space station? That country, that nation that they put together. Not really a country, it's a nation. The nation of Asgardia, where you get a free hammer and helmet before you go into space. Oh, and a nice cape too to go along with it. Anybody know about Asgardia? Let me know. I might do some research today. I've actually been kind of busy, right, reading that report regarding Arecibo in Puerto Rico. Thanks to Paul. But I've also been looking up the hypersonic aircraft and drones. Now that's an amazing thing because Tic Tac people tend to claim that possibly it's a hypersonic ship. The problem is that all the hypersonic ships that have been somewhat disclosed, that people have whistleblown about, look nothing like the Tic Tac. In fact, most of them don't appear to be able to do anything like what Fravor and the crew saw, so I guess more to come. Who really knows? Now that one deal out in Utah that those filmmakers caught, now that could have been a hypersonic ship. I think that one is very possible. That it was a hypersonic ship that came from good old Area 51. I would probably bet some money on that. That probably is what came out of there. But then again, hypersonic, I don't know, if you're going 20 times the speed of sound, you would think you would make some kind of noise. Didn't hear any noise. I don't know. Just these random thoughts that go through my head when I don't have a podcast to do. I just start thinking about random shit. And there you go. 2 random shits. But anyway, there is some more random shit about to come up in this article, and it's one of our favorites. So hold on to your testes. Listen, I do want to say that I know the demographics, and I don't want to appear as sexist, so you can hold on to your ovaries as well if you felt like it during the Here Comes the News jingle. So please, next time, don't even wait for me to say it. Just go ahead and grab whatever you need to. The article that we're going to talk about is Alien Antarctic Bases Mapped, UFO Hunter Spies Proof of Underwater ET on Google Maps. Now, for those of you who are very familiar with these kinds of reports, especially when they come from the Express UK, the first thing you're going to know is that the headline is always going to grab you like, oh my God, right? But then when they're talking about this person, they kind of throw them under the bus, basically. Yeah, not just like the bus that you might see around your neighborhood in the U.S. We're talking about a UK double-decker bus, those big red ones. And they run them over a few times. And it's weird because at first they really loved this guy, Captain Paradolia, Scott C. Waring. Yeah, they loved Captain Paradolia. But something went wrong. Something went seriously wrong with Express UK because, like I said, they would sound his praises without saying his name in the headline. And then in the article, they just dump all over him. Here's the opening for this particular article. Alien life obsessive. Wait, that's not what the headline says. The headline kind of makes it sound like it was like a regular Joe, like a regular guy who came across something on Google Maps. But no, apparently he's an alien life obsessive. Scott C. Waring made a shock announcement about the UFO-based aerial views on his edatabase.com channel. Now, first of all, I didn't even know he had a second website. Shit, he's hard at work. He's got another website. More dollars going into his pocket from the sheeple. Haven't used that one for a while, but there you go. The sheeple, Scott C. Waring sheeple. Apparently he says he's been using Google Maps to zoom into the Antarctica region, and they are right there. Yeah, you can see a lot of other anomalies. No shit. I bet you see a lot of shit, Scott. You can see a lot of other anomalies sitting in between the snow and ice caps on the nearby bay. And then he questions, what are those structures? Aren't they amazing? These are not normal. Where does he live? Doesn't he live out like in fucking California? Does he even see snow? Other than zooming through Google pictures. And how far can you really zoom in to see any amount of detail? Doesn't anyone know Scott C. Waring and what he does in his personal life? Does anyone care to talk to him? Flashcards, I don't know. Rorschach blots. Somebody give him something to look at other than NASA photos and Google images. What does he do? Does he even function if he's not looking at those things? Apparently, he also went to exclaim that these strangely shaped objects, nearby aquatic features, appear to be lining the Antarctic Ocean floor. And he even goes as far as to trying to claim that Google purposely blurred some of them out. Wow. I don't think they did. I think maybe you're zooming way too hard into a couple of pixels that really were not meant to be zoomed on. Pareidolia, it's a terrible thing. He says, Mr. Waring says there is nothing normal about these things. They really stand out quite a bit, but you had to zoom like 10,000 times just to see it. I think he's really lost. I just don't know. And I don't understand why the sheep will continue to get clickbaited by him and continue to fund his coffers. It is crazy. I mean, he's got to be making some money to put up a second website over this kind of nonsense. The funny thing in this, he says basically the structures then appeared to be snow, but clearly they are not. He's referring to the fact that on Google Maps, you can go into earlier images that were taken by their satellites. And he says that he found some in the 80s that appeared to be covered in snow, which is weird. Now, I'm going to call this out, Express UK, because according to this, you said that these particular items were on the ocean floor, but now we're quoting him as saying that they were covered in snow. So which one is it? What are we doing here? What are we reporting? Did anyone check this article before they published it? Gee Louise, I don't understand. It makes no sense. But what really makes no sense is Pareidolia Pete and how he continues to get on this particular publication and many others. And why even bother? I think by now people should be past trying to spot bases. I mean, he has another article that I saw where he spots and catalogs all these moon bases, which look like craters with debris in them. And of course, you know what he says about Mars. There's artifacts and things like scurrying around like rats. I don't get it. I don't know anyone that necessarily enjoys reading any of his stuff, but somebody's got to be doing it. Somebody's out there making his stuff popular enough for the Express UK to continue to publish it. It's a sad, sad state of affairs. It's pretty ugly, really. The article is, of course, linked to the description. I'm sure most of you will not click it, but I put it in there anyway, just in case, out of curiosity. If you're going somewhere, you're taking a break at work, you need to run to the shitter, take your phone. Read it. It's a short read. There's a lot of pictures in it, but it might be worth your time when you really can't do anything else. Or at least I hope not. Not in that situation. For those of you who don't follow me on social media, I did make an announcement recently. And that is that UFO Buster Radio might be 90% sure attending the next, what should I call it, the Roswell UFO Festival in July of 2020. I think I need to make it a thing. I want to invite as many of you possible to get out there. Now, when I say 95%, that means that I already have lodging set up. This far in advance. I'm not playing around this time, folks. I am not playing around. So if you guys are interested, you've thought about going in the past, but you never actually did it. Stop fucking around and let's do it this year. You can join the gang, the horde, because we will be there in force. And we'll be recording, and we'll record something just to mark the moment in history when Manny Moonraker and the Dark Horde enter the Roswell UFO Festival. And also the Edinburgh Festival here in Texas. I should be joining that as well for you Texans who would like to get in on that. And come on by. And if you're a neighboring state, well, just come on. Stop screwing around. Oklahoma, hey, come down. You Louisiana, come on. New Mexico, sure, bring yourself an ET. Or if you find one of those Bud Light ET beers, bring it with you. I sure would like one of those. That's the episode for today. This the situation with Scott C. Waring is so sad. It's like a broken record, and that's the name of this song. It's called Broken Record.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Ciao.
What about the world we both believed in? What about the word that made it so? What about your blood boiling crazy when you're just aching for her love? could blow. You're like a broken record that turns and turns and turns again. You're like a broken record. It's what I am. It's what I am. What about the road less traveled? What about the chances we would take? What about the dreams we unraveled? What about the